Hey guys, Chris here. So it's May, meaning that it is finally spring, almost summer here in Norway. And last week I got these summer wheels mounted on my Porsche Taycan for Cross Turismo. And having the summer wheels mounted has made this car change in 3 different ways. 2 of them are very good, the last one not very good. Does the 2 good things outweigh the thing that isn't very good? Well, that's what we're going to find out in today's video. So if you're new here, my name is Chris. I have this channel dedicated to testing EVs. I do range tests, charging tests. I buy EVs like this to give you guys, well, the ownership experience. So if you like EVs, please be sure to browse the channel after watching this video, or pause this video, go browse the channel. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and then hit that notification bell. And if you just watched this video and if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button down below. Thank you very much. The first obvious change is the exterior styling, the way this thing looks. So when I spec'd this car and ordered it back in August of last year, I spec'd it and ordered it on these wheels. But when I took delivery of the car, it was winter, it was February, so I got it delivered on the winter wheels, which are 20 inches. They're nice enough. They're called the turbo wheels or something like that. I mean, they're like these multi-spoke, faux multi-spoke, because they're kind of like aerodynamic wheels, not, you know, your traditional, I don't know, like BBS styles, which I've had on BMWs in the past. I mean, they're nice enough. In my opinion, they're a bit boring, they're a bit bland, and 20-inch wheels on this car just is barely big enough in my opinion. So when I got these wheels mounted last week, I was just in shock. I was just in awe, because in my opinion, these wheels really make this car. Getting this car now without these wheels, in my opinion, is a huge mistake. And guys, you may disagree with me. Let me know in the comment section down below. But I love these wheels, and I think you have to get these wheels on a Taycan Cross Turismo to have it looking the best way possible, because I just love these wheels. And they are huge. They're 21 inches, and they're also much more open, so you can see the Porsche calipers, you can see the brakes. They just look so much cooler. And in the rear, they are so wide. So 305s in the rear and 265s in the front. So I mean, this thing just looks like a beast now. It's slow, it's wide. On these wheels, it just looks awesome. One of my favorite things about the Porsche Taycan and Taycan Cross Turismo is its steering. So when I had this car on winter wheels, it had nice steering. You know, it felt very natural, very progressive, and it actually has some feel. And you can't say that about many cars in 2022, with all cars having, you know, electric power assisted steering. Most cars are devoid of feel, but this car actually had some feel. But when I put this car on the summer wheels now, boy was I in for a surprise, because the feel has just, you know, multiplied. Like, this road here is quite smooth. Going into these bends, you can feel the tire load. And then once the surface changes, you can feel that. These undulations, bumps in the road, you can feel all of that. If the car starts to track, you feel it in the steering. You don't feel it through the car. It's actually quite impressive, to be honest. And, you know, I thought the steering on the winter wheels was good, because I went from an Audi e-tron GT, which has, you know, precise and accurate steering, but very numb. But this just feels like hydraulic steering, and I mean good hydraulic steering. I haven't felt steering this good since, I don't know, the BMW E90, which I last drove maybe like in 2012, which had really good and positive and quick steering. This is even better. You know, this is impressive. This steering here really was a huge surprise of the way this car drives, because chuck it into a corner, and then once, you know, it just starts to lose a little bit grip, you can feel that in the steering. This is amazing, guys. Drive the Taycan on the 21-inch wheels on Pirelli tires, and I think you're going to be blown away, because I haven't felt steering like this in, I don't know, the better part of a decade. Okay, so those 2 bonuses or upsides, or whatever you want to call them, consequences of this car being on summer wheels, is pretty cool and pretty awesome. I'm not complaining. I'll take that, you know, making the car better to drive and better looking. Yeah, why wouldn't I? So the last point I have isn't as positive. It's not positive at all, actually. and that is the noise levels. So when I've driven, Taycans back to back with e-tron GTs, I've always found the Taycans to be quieter. And also going from an e-tron GT to this car, this just felt quieter. But now on summer wheels, I don't think it is quieter or much quieter at that. I think the noise levels are around the same, and when I look at the tires, which are Pirelli P0s, are exactly the same tires I had on my Audi e-tron GT. So maybe all e-tron GTs are just equipped on summer tires, like my A4 I had a few years ago was equipped on some Bridgestone Azensis or something like that. Some really noisy tires, because once that car was on, the Pirelli, the Nokian Hakkapeliitta R2 winter tires, it was fairly quiet, almost as quiet as the XC90 I had at the time. But once I got both cars on summer tires, well, there was a big difference. So this is my huge disappointment, is just how much more noisy this car is. Driving around here in the suburbs, there's not much of a difference, but once you take it out on the motorway, yeah, you hear much more tire noise. So in my new Taycan for Cross Turismo that I've ordered, Taycan 4S Cross Turismo, I've opted the double pane glass. Hopefully that will eliminate some of that road noise, but as things are now, it's not something I can't live with. I mean, it's fine, but it's just very noticeable. Ride comfort though, unchanged, basically unchanged. I mean, some people are maybe gonna notice difference, but it depends on where you live, how bad the roads are. The suspension in this thing is just so good that, yeah, to me it's about the same. Maybe like a 5% difference, but I mean, that is nothing to talk about, really, guys. Those were the 3 things that have changed, that have been transformed with my Porsche Taycan for Cross Turismo after having the summer wheels mounted. And I'm happier than ever with this car. The way this thing looks is just the way it's meant to look. I'm so well glad with the exterior styling. I turn around to look at it much more now than ever. And also the way this thing drives, I seek out roads with turns and corners and even bad roads just to feel some feel in the steering. It's amazing. The tire noise, well, I haven't had this car on any long trips yet on the motorway, but it's more sensitive to the surface than ever. But that wasn't an issue with my e-tron GT. Yes, it was more noisy than the e-tron 55 I had before that, but whatever. It's a sporty luxury car. It's not an outright limousine. So, do I still have to take delivery of the 4S I have in order? Well, I still think so, because the way that car's going to turn out with the interior, with the exterior, it's going to be pretty awesome. And also that performance that I'm still lacking with this car. Though this car's better to drive, it's still lacking in performance, in my opinion. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys there, and goodbye.